You know, there are these invisible rules that decide who leads and who follows, who gets to speak and who feels like they have to stay quiet, who seems to own the room and who just fades into the background. And these aren't rules you learn in a book. You feel them. It's that subtle shift in the air, that change in gravity you feel when a certain kind of person walks into a room. You know what I'm talking about. And look, this isn't about being loud or aggressive or forcing your will on people. No, it's something much quieter, much deeper, and way more influential. Once you see this stuff, you can never unsee it. So where does this all start? Well, it begins with the emotional frequency of a space, something most of us completely miss. Think about it. Most people are reactive. You walk into a room, you pick up on the vibe, and you unconsciously match it. You adapt. But the person with real power, they don't adapt. They set the tone. And the way they do it is so subtle. It's the steady energy they have. Their movements are slow, deliberate. They speak without rushing, which forces everyone else to slow down to their pace. They're not loud. They're just grounded. That's the unspoken message, isn't it? It's never actually said out loud, but everyone in the room feels it. And almost without thinking, people fall in line. They might lower their own voice. They slow down that frantic energy they brought in. They adjust. Now, building on this idea, the next layer is all about what isn't said. It's about the space between the words. Just watch for this the next time you're talking to someone. The moment a little bit of quiet hangs in the air, you'll see someone jump in to fill it, usually with chatter or nervous explanations. That fear of the empty space, it's a huge vulnerability. And here's the key. Someone who's comfortable with silence can use it like a tool. That quiet creates a kind of vacuum. And the other person's anxiety, their insecurities, their real thoughts, they all come rushing out just to fill that empty space. Silence makes people reveal themselves. This is such a powerful idea. Your stillness, your calm, it does more than just create pressure. It acts like a mirror. It reflects their own inner state right back at them. Your calm highlights their agitation. Your quiet exposes their noise. It creates this imbalance. And, well, imbalance creates a hierarchy. Because in that silence, they're not reacting. They're watching. They're listening. They're gathering information and holding the center while everyone else is scrambling around them. Okay, so this brings us to the more active strategies. This isn't just about being still, it's about actively shaping the interaction right from the start. Most of us think power is about competing, arguing better, proving you're right, fighting to be number one, but that's a lot of work. Real power is about positioning. You don't fight for status, you just assume it. You become the center of gravity, and pretty soon, you'll find other people start to orbit you. You see, every single interaction has what we call a frame. The frame sets the rules. Is this a casual chat, or is it an interview? Are we equals, or am I here trying to get your approval? The person who sets that frame controls the meaning of everything that happens inside it. And the second you accept their frame, you're playing by their rules. So, how do they hold on to that frame when someone challenges them? It's simple, really. They refuse to get emotional. Someone tries to provoke them, they don't take the bait. They don't get defensive, they just calmly redirect. They will not play the game on anyone else's terms. Now, all this control is fueled by a specific kind of currency. And no, it's not money. It's information and approval. You leak power every single time you overshare. Every little detail you don't need to give, every insecurity you expose, that's all information. The powerful person, though, they're a vault. They speak with purpose, they reveal absolutely nothing that isn't strategic. And all the while, they are a sponge, just observing everything. And they do something else that's really clever. They don't chase you for approval. Instead, they create this subtle distance, this little emotional gap, and that creates a psychological pull. You feel this unconscious need to close that gap, to impress them, to please them, to win them over. Just think about that for a second. Have you ever been in that situation? That sudden impulse to prove yourself to someone who's just being neutral and observant? That's the approval gap in action. They don't demand your performance. You offer it up freely just to try and bridge that distance. So here's the thing. The whole point of understanding all this isn't to learn how to dominate other people. It's to understand the mechanics so you can stop unconsciously giving away your own power. It's about reclaiming your own center. This is maybe the most important thing to get. Let that really sink in for a moment. In most situations, power isn't taken from you. You surrender it. You give it away. And you give it away every time you rush to fill a silence, every time you perform for validation, every time you let someone else's emotional state dictate yours. You need to recognize these things not as flaws, but just as habits of submission. So how do you reclaim it? Well, it's not about becoming aggressive. It's about becoming solid. It's about slowing your energy down, speaking with intention, revealing less, observing more. It's about realizing that your validation has to come from you, not from trying to close somebody else's approval gap. It's about holding your center, especially when things get intense. Because in the end, true power isn't really about overpowering anyone else. It's about no longer being overpowered by your own fears or your own need for validation. The very moment you decide to stop shrinking, to stop abandoning yourself just to make other people feel comfortable, the entire dynamic of the room shifts. And trust me, everyone feels